Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 98 podcast. I'm your host, Kiran. But in this episode, Amie was the host. Hi, Amie. So, for episode 35, we talked a little bit about how to start a podcast, our little reflective period with our podcast, and then how you can kind of get started today. And with this video portion, what we wanted to do was sort of show you the behind the scenes that goes on. So I did a lot of screen recording to just give you all a little background of what we do and how much effort we put into this and how you can actually do it too. It's not very hard, but you just have to do it to do it. But yeah, Amie, did you want to say anything before we get started?
No, I just want to say the podcast episode itself was well done, and I'm hoping that more people will be able to make their own podcast because podcasts are definitely underrated, but they can tell a lot of stories in a short amount of time.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I've gotten a few requests to talk about this, so I'm hoping to, I don't know, inspire a few podcasts. Would it be interesting if someone's like, yeah, a really popular podcast in the future is just yeah, I got started because these people at 98, I don't know if they're still around or not, but they inspired me. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, we did it. But yeah, okay, so please check out that full episode linked in the description. But right now we're going to show you what do we do behind the scenes, and then we'll kind of pause and comment and stuff. So we're kind of a commentary channel right now. TC. Okay. Do you see the video, Amie?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to have our little heads popped up over here. And we'll get started. Okay, so this video is just going to explain a little bit about our process. It starts off with what do we do to start off our week, and then what we do before the recording, after the recording, and then how do we promote everything. Okay, so let's get started. Alrighty. I hit spacebar and I didn't hit play. Did that work? It's not loading. Give me 1 second. The toolbar was in the way. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's no audio either, by the way. So anyways, we get started through our group folder. We have weekly meetings and yeah, we just kind of update each other on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is our group chat. I scrolled past the little...
Wait to expose this, Kiran.
We have so many channels. As you can see, they're organized in a specific way that helps us better understand our stuff. We plan interviews in the interview one. We have a LinkedIn one, an Instagram one. We have this memes one. Thank you, Amie, for creating this. We got my little baby Yoda going on. And then this is what our doc looks like when we're talking about things. And oh, there's our heads. Oh, look at us. We're having a cute little meeting. And we do these weekly so that we're up to date with what's going on. We're all youngsters trying to get through life together, and this really helps with that. Yeah, this is what our doc usually looks like before an episode. So it's really good to have these talking points. They don't have to be that detailed either. It just depends on the episode and how the guest feels. But yeah, did you have anything you wanted to add to that, Amie, about what do we do before we even start recording?
No, I would just kind of piggy off of what you just said. Having these different documents, it may seem like a lot, but in the end, it helps us stay organized. And even if you're a guest on our show, seeing the talking points keeps you on track as well. Because I know sometimes we can get into tangents and then we kind of forget how much time we have left. And so it's meant to help both the host and the guest. So if you do have a podcast, find your kind of way of organizing so that way you don't lose track of things.
Yeah, definitely. So, and then we also have a folder where we ask our guests to drop in their MP3 files, and then we edit everything. So that's where this comes in. After we record everything, we edit. I add a little intro and outro that was made by Illyria's brother, Josh. And that's just a fun way to keep things consistent and then do branding. You just got to export the MP3. And while that happens, what I end up doing is just designing all the graphics and stuff. This is what Anchor looks like, by the way, for anyone looking. They have these really helpful buttons, right? You can record on here, you can add music, do transitions, all of that fun stuff. I just haven't had the chance to actually utilize it yet. But yeah, while the episode's loading, you can enter in a title. We usually try to do I think we're on our season 2. I don't emphasize that we're on season 2. I just kind of keep the numbers going.
Mhm.
But that's something to look about. Yeah. You can link things. Um, you can schedule your post. Again, we do ours on Sundays at noon. And then you can just hit update the episode. And then this is just me working on the design side of things. Like, it takes forever, but it's just like, how much effort do you want to put into it? You don't have to go this detailed, but I like to have little cutouts of my guests and we go from this. And this is like the example behind the scenes for Illyria's episode on women in Naruto, where we had this whole like debate on like, why do characters suck in this? But yeah, we also do little facts about our guests, and there's a lot of graphics that we make. I'm a very visual person. This is where like the design part kicks in of like, I just like to have that visual there for anyone who wants to see it, and it helps with branding and everything too. But awesome. Okay, so those are the 3 things that get posted on Instagram and our website, as well as LinkedIn. And then I go in and I like add like captions and audios to do like the whole Instagram prep. We have this like video portion that we do. This is Wondershare, by the way. If anyone from the episode was like, what does it look like though? This is what it looks like. It's super easy to use. It's kind of like the Canva of video editing, but you do have to pay in order to get like the watermark away. But anyways, this is step 4, promotion. So we have our Instagram, looks like this, right? For the episode, we have that. And then we also do a bunch of stories to try to engage with our audience and growth. Someone in the episode in the episode, we talked about someone asking, how do you grow your platform? So here's a bunch of the different sites we use. This is what our website looks like. We post blogs consistently to make sure, everything's gooch. Everything links back to our other platforms, so it's easier to navigate. And this is what our LinkedIn looks like. All thanks to Amie. She manages all of that. And yeah, it's a really quick video, but I just wanted to kind of explain the fact that this is a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that we don't really mention. And I hope to do like a better like explanation at one point, but for this episode, I think this is really the best we could do. And then step 5, repeat everything. That was just one episode. That's what we do once a week. But, there's a lot more to that. But yeah, Amie, what are your thoughts on that? Because I don't think you saw this video before, right? Or
I
like,
haven't seen the video before, so that's why I was like, holy crap. Like, when you tell us about like, oh, I have to edit this and, things like that, like, I have a good, like, mindset of like how much time that takes, but like to see it all happening, like all the different platforms happening, like having to go from tab 1 to tab 2, I think again like it takes a lot of mental power, as well as just like you definitely have to clear your schedule and just like make sure you're held accountable for these things, because it does happen. Like each one of us have had our fair share of like, oh crap, we forgot to do this vlog, or like we forgot to do this description, and we're like, oh crap. But like because we're such a small team and we know each other from school, like we're all still growing. And so like going forward, like if we do land a job that happens to be this crazy, then we have a better idea of like, okay, so how do I manage myself? Like what is it about, like what tasks do I have to get done first? So like even if you, again, like if you run a small business, you have assignments to do, like organizations are gonna be your best friend in the end. Like find a way that you're gonna hold yourself accountable, whether it's a daily planner, your sibling or friend constantly texting you like, hey, did you do that thing yet? Like if not, you should probably do it. So I appreciate you having that video, because I think a lot of people when they hear it, they're like, oh, that sounds so easy, I can just record it on my phone and that's it. And it's like, no, like some audios will have background noise, like that one that you told me about. I think, was it with Sonia or someone else that had chickens running?
That was Sonia. I think she had like her Hawaiian birds flying around.
Yeah. So like if you're looking to do a certain style of a podcast, if you definitely are going to want to listen through your whole episode and capture those little nitty gritty moments. Like I know it seems annoying, but like it'll pay off in the end because people are gonna reference it and be like, oh wow, they actually took the time.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what season 2 has been. Like it's been more more detailed in a sense, whereas like all three of us are being more attentive to what's happening, and not being afraid of pointing out like, hey, maybe we should switch it up to this.
Right.
Because in season 1 we were all like, okay, well, it's the first season, just run with it, see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. And I think just the video overall too, it's supposed to just that's just like my week in general. I think someone did ask me a question once, like how long does it take you to like get an episode up? And I guess like if I think about it, I do, from at least from our team's perspective, like I do the like episode recording, prep, and then upload, and then you guys kind of take it over from like promotion and like what happens afterwards. So I wanted to ask you, like after I answer this too, but how long does it take you usually to do your portion of like things? And then um yeah, I guess like, do you want to start off actually like with the promotional aspects and then writing captions and stuff, or helping me with interview questions? Like how much time do you think it usually takes you a week?
Yeah. I think like as an overall timing, it usually takes anywhere from like 30 minutes to an hour, depending on like what kind of episode we've had. If it's a guest that, like it's a more of a casual conversation with peers or friends that we've had on, then it usually doesn't take too much time in terms of like promoting, because it's usually small topics that are pretty flexible with captions and just like promoting.
Right.
If it's guests like when we had Eric Chen of Sabotage,
Oh,
I
right.
think it took me a bit more time to invest in, because I wanted to be cautious of what I was putting out there in terms of LinkedIn, the blog, Instagram. Like I wanted to make sure that I was fact checking what was said and what has been put out already.
Mm-hmm.
And just making sure that, we're not going to be at fault for anything that, may have been wrong.
Right.
Um, and then additional time could be emailing the guests themselves. Like if you do have clarifications you want to make that extra step and take that day off and just reach out to them, because it will help you in the end.
Right.
I think when it comes to promoting episodes, people often forget like, oh, we'll just share it and that's it. People aren't really gonna stay with you if you don't put some kind of meaning into your work. Like
Right.
I think a couple of guest of ours have also pointed out already, like they love that we actually take the time to ask them questions, like if we don't know if something's right, or like just making sure we're on the same page.
Right. No, definitely. I was also trying to like count how much time this takes me to do. It honestly it varies, right? Especially when it was like the sabotage episode, we were essentially helping on our end try to boost Eric and his team's Kickstarter account. So it was like multiple like marketing going on throughout like the month. And I really love that they appreciated that too. And they like sent us little boba hats. It's around here somewhere. But yeah, so I think that one took a really long time. But on average, I think it takes me I want to say maximum of 10 hours, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
It can take a while because we have about an hour long meeting a week, right? And then it takes me about 3 hours to edit the audio at times if it's an hour long audio, because I try to be really respectful of the people who I'm recording with. And sometimes they'll be like, hey, I say the word like a lot, or like, can you take that out? And so that just takes up a lot of time to edit. No problem with me doing that either. Like I say the word like a lot, so I have to edit that out all the time. But there's a lot of details that go into the editing, so that takes a really long time. And then from there, while things are exporting, that can take a really long time. So when things are exporting, I'll just go and work on the art pieces, and then I have to like edit and like Photoshop the images and text and all that stuff. And then yeah, it takes a while. So I would say about 10 hours. But again, I'm a little overachiever. I don't have to do a bunch of extra stuff like doing like the video snippets, but I just do that because I'm like, it's a fun way to market it on Instagram, but then it's also great to attach like a face to the person who's speaking in the episode. So that's something we started in season 2. And I think it just helps because I used to just post like, oh, hey, this episode's out. But now it's like this episode is out, and then like a few days later we'll be like, so here's the guest, like get to know them. We do like a fun activity. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been great. And I think definitely like if you have a team, you can definitely do more. But if you are working by yourself, that's totally fine too. Just be able to like manage your time and know what's realistically possible for yourself, because you can eventually grow and become like a massive platform, right? But then take your time getting there, because if you do it too fast, or like you try to, what is it, like try to build Rome in a day, like that's not going to work out or something. Like you can't build Rome in a day. You might burn out and then stop doing the podcast altogether, because I've seen that happen for certain people. So but yeah, that's all we have today. Thank you for joining us. I hope that helps. Again, Illyria wrote an amazing blog that's on our website right now, linked right in the bio. So please check that out if you're someone who just wants to see the steps and the resources for starting a podcast today. And please comment down below ideas that you have for starting podcasts. And if you want advice from us, we're definitely here to help you. So please let us know. But yeah, anything else, Amie?
No, I think that was it. I feel like, again, like this is going to be a good resource for everyone else going forward.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here with me, Amie. And thank you everyone for joining us. Until next time. Bye-bye. Anyways, so that's kind of all we have today. Yeah, Amie, is there anything else that you wanted to mention? She might have cut out. Amie has a little bit of a Wi-Fi problem. I'm just gonna comb my hair while I wait for her to get back. Amie, there? Amie-chan? Oh, I heard a noise. Amie?
Is it back?
Yeah.
Is it back?
Oh, yeah, you're back. You're back. Don't worry. I'm gonna edit that out, baby. But here, let me continue.